You are standing in the middle of a penthouse suite that costs more per night than your father earned in a decade. The air is thick with the cloying scent of expensive Chanel No. 5, but it is losing a desperate war against the sharp metallic tang of blood cooling on white marble. Your breath is shallow, coming in ragged hitches that rattle in your chest. You feel the cold sweat carving paths through the dust on your forehead. In your right hand, you are clutching a professional-grade DSLR camera, its memory card heavy with images that could topple 3 governments and sink a dozen Fortune 500 companies. Your left hand is buried in the pocket of your charcoal suit, fingers twitching against a burner phone that is vibrating with a relentless rhythmic persistence. The caller ID is blank. You know who it is. The old man is waiting for the signal. He is waiting for you to tell him that the stain has been bleached. He is waiting for you to tell him that the ghost has been exorcised and that the world can keep spinning on its axis of lies. You look down at the body on the floor, then at the gold-plated watch on your wrist. 6 minutes. That is all the time you have left. That is all the time you have before the cleaner crew arrives to turn this crime scene into a vacant room ready for the next high-net-worth guest. This is not how you imagined your life. You were supposed to be the man who defended the law, not the man who buried it under 6 feet of blue strips. But hell is not a place you fall into. It is a staircase you walk down, one polite request at a time, and you have reached the bottom. Flashback to 2 years ago. You are sitting in a cramped office in Lower Manhattan, surrounded by stacks of past due notices and the smell of stale coffee. You are a brilliant lawyer, or at least you used to be before the gambling debts and the failed firm stripped to the polish off your shoes. Then the phone rings. A voice like gravel over silk asks if you are interested in a consulting gig for a private estate. No names, no details. You arrive at a nondescript townhouse on the Upper East Side. The security is invisible, but absolute. You feel eyes on you from every shadow. You are led into a library that smells of old leather and tobacco. There he is, the old man. He does not look like a monster. He looks like a grandfather who owns a yacht and spends his summers in the Hamptons. He smiles with a warmth that doesn't reach his eyes. He pushes an envelope across the desk. Inside is $50,000 in crisp sequential bills. All he wants is a minor favor. All he wants you to do is talk to a police captain about a minor traffic incident involving a young woman and a black SUV. He calls it a misunderstanding. You know it is a hit and run, but $50,000 says your morality can afford a temporary vacation. You take the money. It feels heavy in your pocket, a physical weight that anchors you to a new reality. You tell yourself it's a one-time thing. Within a month, the traffic incidents turn into hush money payments for aspiring models. You are no longer a lawyer, you are a fixer. You learn the grease that makes the wheels of justice turn in the opposite direction. You start carrying 2 phones, one for the world, one for him. You are invited to the island. You see the plane, the one the tabloids will later call the Lolita Express, waiting on the dark runway. You walk up the stairs, and the smell of jet fuel and expensive leather hits you like a physical blow. You are entering another world. There are girls on the plane. They are far too young, with eyes that look like they have seen the end of the world and realized it was already here. The island is a fever dream of white sand and black secrets. You are the one who manages the guest list. You see the true faces of power. You see the names, presidents, princes, tech titans who talk about saving the world in the morning and spend their nights in the temple. You are the ghost in the machine, the man who deletes the CCTV footage before the sun rises, ensuring the elite stay untouchable. You feel like you are standing on the edge of a volcano watching the lava bubble below, convinced that as long as you hold the remote, you won't burn. The old man summons you to the temple. This is the inner sanctum where the masks are discarded entirely and the true horrors happen. He hands you a hard drive, its cold metallic surface a stark contrast to the tropical heat. He tells you there was an accident. A guest, a man whose face appears on every business magazine in the country, lost control. He tells you the girl is gone. The girl is gone, but the evidence remains. Your job is to make sure the evidence is deleted, destroyed, and forever forgotten by the world. But the old man has a different plan. He wants you to keep a copy, just in case. He calls it an insurance policy for the future. You realize then that you are not just a fixer anymore. You are a blackmailer. The walls are closing in on you as much as the guests. You go to the server room, the hum of the cooling fans, a low menacing growl in the silence. You feel the cold air bite your skin. You plug in the drive and start the process. The images begin to flicker across the screen. You try to look away, but you can't. You see the girl. She looks like your niece. She has the same bright, hopeful eyes, the same gap between her front teeth. She has the same eyes, and then you see the guest. He is smiling. It is a smile of absolute power. You feel a wave of nausea. You hit the copy button, your finger trembling on the keyboard. You are committing a crime that will get you killed. You are setting a fire. You tuck the drive into your waistband, the cold metal biting into your skin. You walk out into the sunlight, blinded by the brightness. But the island is a small place. The security guards are no longer looking at you with respect. They are looking at you like a target. You need to get to the plane. You need to disappear. You reach the airstrip, the engine's already whining, the pilot looking nervous. You climb the stairs, and as the door closes, you feel relief. But then you see him sitting in the back. The old man is waiting. The world calls it a suicide when he's found later. The media dissects the conspiracy theories like vultures picking at a carcass. But you know the truth. You were the one who visited the precinct 3 days before delivering the heavy envelope to the man in charge. Now you sit in a penthouse overlooking Central Park. You are surrounded by the finest things money can buy, but everything feels cold. The silk sheets feel like shrouds. The vintage wine tastes like copper and regret. You have the leverage now, but you have no life. You are the most powerful man in the room, yet you are a prisoner in a cage made of gold and blackmailed secrets. You could destroy them all with a single keystroke. You could be the hero, but you remember the phone call. You remember your sister's voice. Justice is a luxury for people who have nothing to lose. For people like you, there is only survival in the shadows. Every morning, you look at yourself in the mirror and you don't recognize the man looking back. You see the shadow of the old man in you. You are the guardian of the rot, the man who keeps the gears of the world turning by greasing them with blood and silence. You walk to the window and look down at the tiny people on the street below, blissfully unaware of the darkness that breathes above them. Hell isn't a place you go when you die. It's the life you lead when you've sold everything else. Welcome to the staircase.